After Sir Hugh Clifford left office as Governor-General of Nigeria in 1925, the man who took over was Sir Graeme Thomson. Here is his story told as a historical narrative. The man who inherited Clifford's Nigeria. The year was 1925. The British Empire stretched across continents, and Nigeria, vast, diverse, and restless, stood as one of its most valuable colonies. Sir Hugh Clifford, the eloquent governor who had championed limited African participation in government, was leaving the stage. As his ship prepared to depart, another colonial master was already waiting in the wings. His name was Sir Graeme Thomson. Unlike Clifford, Thomson was not known for grand speeches or political idealism. He was a practical administrator, a man of order, discipline, and imperial efficiency. Where Clifford dreamed of gradual constitutional development, Thomson believed the colony's first duty was stability. When he arrived in Lagos, the colonial capital buzzed with anticipation. What kind of governor will this one be? Merchants whispered in the markets. Will he listen to Nigerians? Asked the educated elite who had begun demanding a greater voice in government. The answer would become clear soon enough. A governor focused on control. Stepping into Government House, Thomson surveyed the colony he now ruled. Nigeria was enormous. In the north, powerful emirates governed millions through indirect rule. In the west, Yoruba towns thrived with commerce and growing political awareness. In the east, communities increasingly challenged colonial authority. The colony was changing rapidly. Thomson understood that change could be dangerous for the British Empire. His mission was simple: maintain order, strengthen administration, protect British interests. Unlike Clifford, who had introduced the 1922 Constitution and allowed a small number of elected representatives in Lagos and Calabar, Thomson was cautious about expanding political freedoms. He believed the educated African elite were moving too quickly. The colonial government, in his view, should guide Nigeria, not be pressured by it, building roads and expanding the economy. Yet Thomson was not merely a conservative administrator. He knew that Britain's wealth depended on Nigeria's productivity. Under his rule, roads expanded, railways improved, agricultural exports increased, palm oil, cocoa, groundnuts, and other products flowed from Nigeria to British factories. To colonial officials in London, these developments were signs of success. Reports sent back to Britain praised the growing economy, but many Nigerians saw another reality. The infrastructure primarily served the colonial economy. Roads carried export crops to ports. Railways linked production centers to shipping routes. The wealth generated rarely benefited ordinary Nigerians in equal measure. Rising voices of nationalism. During Thomson's years in office, a new force was quietly growing: nationalism. Educated Nigerians began forming organizations, newspapers, and political movements. They questioned colonial policies. They demanded more representation. They criticized racial inequalities within the administration. Each newspaper article, each public meeting, each political debate signaled something important. The era of unquestioned colonial authority was beginning to fade. Thomson recognized the challenge, but instead of accelerating political reform, he preferred caution. To him, rapid change threatened stability. To many Nigerians, caution looked increasingly like resistance, the shadow of the future. As the years passed, Thomson kept Nigeria relatively stable from the British perspective. Yet beneath the surface, forces were gathering that no governor could stop. Young Nigerians were becoming lawyers, teachers, journalists, and political activists. They were studying British ideas of liberty and self-government, and they were beginning to ask a simple question: if these principles are good for Britain, why not for Nigeria? The question would grow louder long after Thomson departed. The end of Thomson's rule. In 1931, Sir Graeme Thomson left Nigeria. He handed power to Sir Donald Cameron, another experienced colonial administrator who would leave his own mark on the country. As Thomson's ship sailed away, he likely believed he had fulfilled his duty. The colony was orderly. The economy was functioning. British authority remained intact. But history would reveal another truth. During his administration, the seeds of Nigerian nationalism had continued to grow. The generation that would eventually demand independence was already emerging, and no amount of colonial administration could prevent what was coming. 30 years later, in 1960, Nigeria would become an independent nation. The empire Thomson served so faithfully would be gone. Yet the institutions, regional structures, economic patterns, and administrative systems shaped during his era would continue to influence Nigeria long after the Union Jack was lowered. That is the story of Sir Graeme Thomson, the colonial master who succeeded Sir Hugh Clifford, governed Nigeria with caution and discipline, and unknowingly presided over a period when the desire for self-rule was steadily awakening.